Hello, dear. Dear, I'm so glad you could join me today. Oh, have we got a day for you? First, I'm going to tell you a joke. And then I'm going to read you a story. And then we might even have a puzzle, because you know how I love puzzles. Buy my puzzle pieces. I do really like to put puzzles together and solve them and such, and some days, well, I don't get the right answer. But not to worry, because in my mind it's always the right answer. So let me tell you this joke to start off with out of my book of animal jokes. Yes, what do you call a man with a seagull on his head? Cliff, dear, Cliff. Cliff, do you get it? Cliff. It's okay, dear. Think about it for a moment. You'll get it. I know, because you are so smart. Listen, dear. Today's story is about Jesus. Was Jesus ever tempted to sin? Well, the answer would be yes. You know, the devil himself once tempted Jesus to show off his powers. The Bible also says that Jesus faced all of the same temptations that we do. You know, temptation is a very powerful pull to do something wrong. It's such a pesky part of everyday life that Jesus would not have been human if he had never felt temptation. Well, that tells me that he too was tempted and could understand my dilemma when I am tempted. You know, Jesus was God, but he was also human like you and me. He faced the same tugs to do wrong that we do. But here is the difference. When you and I are tempted, well, let's face it, we often give in, and we do it, don't we? We do that thing that we shouldn't be doing. We know it's wrong, but we do it anyway. We were tempted and we gave in to the temptation and we sinned. Well, Jesus never did, and that's great news. You can be sure that Jesus understands what a struggle it is to keep from doing wrong. But you can also be sure that he will help you and help me to not give in to the temptation. You know, in Hebrews chapter 4, 15 and 16, it talks about how Jesus understands our weaknesses, for he faced all the same temptations that we do, yet he did not sin. So let us come boldly to the throne of our greatest God. And there we will receive mercy and we will find grace to help us when we need it. Now, some of you would say, well, Jesus didn't face the same temptations that we did, Miss Petunia, because, well, we have social media and we have cell phones and we've got all these things going on. Now, while he didn't have a cell phone back then, yes, there was no cell phone, there was no cell phone tower, there was no Facebook or Instagram or Snapchat, Twitter, Google, all those things, YouTube, all those things, television, radio, none of that stuff that we have today. Granted, he was still tempted by other things, and he still did not sin, see. We are tempted by various things, lots of things every day. And too often, well, every day, I should confess, I fail and I sin. You know, we can beat ourselves up over that. But Jesus tells us that if I come to him and I ask him for forgiveness, that he will forgive me, that I will be forgiven of my sin. And then what I'm supposed to do is to not do it anymore. I'm not supposed to sin anymore. If I'm asking for forgiveness for this, and then I'm not supposed to do it. It's like the little kid who said, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, over the same thing over and over again. Well, after a while, dear, I don't know how sincere your sorry really is. Are you really sorry? Or are you just saying you're sorry because you got caught and you're just going to go back and do it again? You're just going to go back and do the same thing, going, oh, they let me off, I'm going to go do it again. I don't care. I want to care. I don't want to do it again. And it bothers me when I sin again after I've asked God to forgive me. You know, Jesus, through the Holy Spirit, the working in my heart, convicts me of that. To where I want to do the right thing and not sin and fall into temptation. Now, you know, the enemy is going to tempt us like he tempted Jesus in the desert. He's going to say, you can have all of this if you follow me. I'll give you great riches. I'll give you wonderful things. Oh, it won't hurt a bit. Look what he did to Adam and Eve in the garden, dear. Telling Eve that the fruit was good to eat and was going to make her smart and that God was deceiving her. Well, look who deceived who. If you read in Genesis, in the first chapter, I believe it is, not the first chapter, because that talks about creation. It might be chapter 3 or chapter 4, where we see Adam and Eve in the garden. And they're standing there, minding their own business, mind you, and who comes? A sneaky little snake called a serpent. And he is tempting Eve. Well, let's see. We're going to see up chapter 3. Yes. That's when the snake comes in and tempts Eve and says, don't you want to eat the fruit off of that tree? Look at it, how beautiful it is. And she says, we're not supposed to eat from that tree. And he says, oh, did God say that? He just doesn't want you to see what he sees. Go ahead, dear. Eat from the tree. And she fell for the lie. And ever since then, it's been bad news. Right? And the snake, he knew what he was doing. See, here's the thing. The enemy knows what he's doing when he's tempting you. You cannot fall for that. Don't be listening. He doesn't love you. He doesn't want what's best for you. God does. God loves you, and he wants what's best for you. And when he says don't do it, well, then don't do it. You know, we have our parents, and they say, don't do that. You're going to hurt yourself. Don't do that because you're not allowed. We should listen to them and not do it. But how many times are we tempted, right? We say, well, look, what do they know? I'm just going to sneak it. You're going to be caught. I'm telling you. If not then, you will be later. You know, it's like a liar. Some people can't lie very well. They can't remember the last lie they told. Oh, I remember me ex. He was like that. He'd lie and lie and lie and... Well, he was a terrible liar. He could not remember the last lie. Just goes to show you, you should not be lying to people. You should be always trying to tell the truth. Because that's what Jesus would be doing, is telling the truth. Oh, you know, when I think back to those days, I'm so thankful that I had the Lord in my life, guiding and directing me. And, you know, here's the thing. I did not know he was in my life at the time, but he was. He was present, and he was guiding and directing me, and it took me a while to finally figure out that, you know, that was the Lord, guiding and directing and protecting me. Oh, I love him so now. Oh, well, I must tell you, I was thinking... Today, as I got up and I was drinking me caffeine, you know. Oh, caffeine. It's wicked caffeine. You know, I had like 1 cup of coffee and then 2 and then 3 and then something. So, well, you can have 5. And I said, oh, yes, I can. Oh, and they said, just think of how wonderful you're feeling, how much energy you're feeling. You'll just be going 100 miles an hour. I said, yes, I like that. And, you know, I was trying to practice me paper, rock, and scissors playing by myself. You know, it's hard to play that game by yourself. If you ever tried it, playing rock, paper, scissors by yourself, it's very hard going. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I'm getting it, you know. But I was tempted to drink 5 cups of caffeine coffee. Now, what would that have done to me? Well, not anything good, you know. I'd be jittering and I'd be talking 100 miles an hour, and my poor Lois, she wouldn't know. She'd be like, what is going on here, Miss Petunia? Oh. So I stopped and I didn't listen. You know, temptations can happen in the littlest things, dear. They can happen over food, things we drink and things we say, and places we go and people we see. So we must be very careful, dear, when it comes to temptations, that we don't give in to them. Or you be like me, drinking 5 cups of caffeine coffee. With no creamer yet, too, to try and weigh it out. You know, I don't put no creamer because that's fattening, you know. Yes, I know. I haven't done the scientific research on how fattening 5 cups of caffeine coffee are, but for me, it's not a good thing. Right, Lois? I know, I just talk your little head off. Fred, it's okay. You know, I've learned that Fred doesn't like it very loud. He tends to, well, I don't know, hide his head when I stop talking loud. It's okay, Fred. And then, of course, I got my bell. Yeah, nobody. But that's okay. I have me Lois and I have me Bible and I'm all set. Okay, so I promised you that I would have a puzzle. It's a good one, so get out your paper. I have a pencil. You can have a pen or a marker or crayon, whatever you'd like. All matter of what they call I-ness. I-ness. I don't get that myself, but that's all right. I'm old-fashioned, you know. I like to write with me hand on a piece of paper. So I'll wait for you. And while I'm waiting, I'm going to practice my paper, rock and scissors game. Let's see if I can get it done. Well, you're not supposed to be watching right now. You're supposed to be hunting for a piece of paper and a pen. Okay. Don't look. 1, 2, 3. Hi. Scissors cut the paper. 1, 2, 3. Hey, I'm getting good at this, you know. Okay, are you ready? Because, you know, we need to be ending soon. Alrighty, here we go. Are you ready for your puzzle for today? Alright, number 7, 15, 4, 23, 1, 14, 20, 19, 20, 15, 2, or some of you like to go 2, 5, 25, 15, 21, 18, 6. For those of you, this is 6, 18, 9, 5. This is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 14. And the last number of our puzzle is 4. 4. Usually when somebody yells 4, you move out of the way because a golf ball's coming. But anyway, that is our puzzle for today. Dear, give some serious thought about temptation today, dear. Think about what you're falling into temptation on. And beware, dear, because even our friends can tempt us to do the wrong thing. Don't fall for that. Don't fall into their little trap. Do the right thing. Make the right decision. If your parents have told you not to do that, then don't do it. Don't fall into temptation, dear, that leads to sin. Well, that's it for today. Miss Petunia has to go now. I've got to go see if they've got some mashed potatoes for me to eat. I love me some mashed potatoes with butter and salt. Yes, and I do like a little lumps in me potatoes. Well, just gives me the crunchy, and it's not, I have teeth still to be able to eat the crunchy food, so, well, mashed potatoes in water. No more caffeine for me today. I'll talk to you later. Bye.